Welcome all to Reverses, the series that we take your favorite characters, or some you don't know, to face each other to see who will win. While there sometimes be enemies or not, there will always be a victor to be determined. And today, this fight will be determined between these two. Those two have a lot of similarities, surprisingly. Some of them start out, me a person, and then etc. And as well, confusing parts is a bit complicated one at best. That being said, who are the opponents for today's fight? And what be the first? This is a battle between a man who wears underwear and a girl who surprisingly needs to check out demon arts. There are problems, which I'm referring to the fighters today. Kamen Rider O's, or his real name, Ryuko, up against Ryuko Matoi from Kill la Kill. Both them are had some similarities in the past, especially when it comes with fighting each other, and sometimes ending some fights. However, on the round, who can win a fight between the man that possesses all the animals or metals, or the girl who possesses all the powers of clothing? And yes, that's the thing, and I'm gonna keep this joke in me and say, well, oh dear God, I'm pretty much thinking ideas for those who are perverts, am I? Because I put a PG-13 rating. With that being said, let's see how these two can match before we get to the winner. Let us know about these characters, what they can do. And being said, let's take a look at the information. Kamen O's is pretty much a character that you expect. Unlike other Kamen Riders in the past, Kamen O's possess the power of all the animals, based on what they are, whether it be land, speed, water, etc. And its base form is a power of both maybe possibly a falcon, tiger, and maybe a grasshopper or something, or a mantis. In case, each of the forms gives some rare abilities, as well as a weapon as sorts, and such his signature weapon in base form is called a undress saber, a weapon that can able to tank 3 metals that was tuned by OOO, or I like to call the undead mummies, that can use it as a weapon, as well as using some ender coins for vehicles as well. As for Ryuko, she possesses the Senji, which is surprisingly talked. With it, it can able to grant her some several abilities such as flight, speed, and also durability, as well helping her to take on toe-to-toe with other life favorite covers as well, especially towards her own mother. Yeah, turns out her mother is the final boss. It's complicated at least. I mean, come on, alright. But in all seriousness, her Senshi can actually get her some fights as well get her some way to win. What does Kamen O's have what basically Ryuko doesn't? That being infinite forms. Each form, like I said before, something can be a form or even a form. That being can able to use in several fights. For example, the Tara get him a flight, sprite, and speed to his own ability, but the Tara is a powerful form that goes berserker, Cobra form, or like say India style form, get him a slight edge and get him to move around as a snake, or even a land at least. As for his water form, get able to speed while maybe weak, but can go faster than water. And such, he also had the Tareka, a form that able to multiple himself and give him some incredible abilities, and even transform to other forms that in his multiple form. So as such, he can multiply himself over and over and over. However, even though Ryuko doesn't have one of those, she possesses a weapon that can able to cut through a lightsaber, that being her scissor blades, created by among his father before his untimely death. Her blades can able, or I like to say, scissor blades can able to cut down to a lightsaber, especially when it comes to increasing size. Again, this is not a joke. It can able to cut through anything, especially when it comes with well, based on kind of clothing, of course. And knowing that, it will surprisingly be that massive when she gets to a final form, which I will be covering up pretty later on in this analysis. But it's worth something to know that they get able to cut through anything at least, or at best, especially with kind of giant beings like one of those mechs. But if things get tough, also get able to transfer its final state, that being the Super Tabata. In this form, it was granted by a future writer named Aqua. With it can able to grant him speed as well, being immune to stop times. As well, it could possibly possess time stop ability as well, give him much more faster speed and strength, as well as access to his final forms, especially when it comes with it. It could be debatable that I could be wrong or not, but in this state, it can be able to face up with several foes, especially towards Super Galactic King at best, that can have the sword power of the evil Kamen future and the cosmic powers. Ryuko have a final form as well, with that being when she absorbs all the senchis, as well the power of the life labors from every single person in the unit, especially at Elite 4, as well as senchi. She becomes a much powerful form. Well, I don't remember it or how to pronounce the name. I like to call it the golden light flavor form, or favorite form, at least, because God, it looks awesome. In this day, it's surprisingly that effective, as well can able to keep up with foes, as well, which, and even shown in the game, she get able to face up against her sister, Kona. I'm not gonna include this as it because it's just not canon. And such, I'm not gonna use it in analysis and a post analysis at least, but I am gonna be referring this as for example, not as a full canon one, but not canon at least. So I'm not gonna include that. But it's worth mentioning this because in this state, she get able to increase her power, especially going toe to toe with her mother, Rago. Okay, seriously, who come up with these names? But anyways, it's pretty powerful if it was given the right time, as well she was able to use. And yes, there are some flaws with it, and could be correct all of them, but in this state, she is pretty powerful with that strength. But there's one thing to ask. Can it able to attack toe to toe with anyone? Possibly, but in some circumstances there is, but in short way, she is capable to face out tougher opponents like her sister, and as well her mother as well. And we cannot forget that those two had need some guidance. With that being, we're introducing their partners. That being said, let's start with Ichi's partner, Ankich. Or is it Ankich? Anyways, Ankich is among one of the members of the Greed, which is pretty much an internal being that represents power, or greed, or lust, or anything based on elements. In case, he helped out Ichi to at least help use some different combinations as well as strategies to win each of the fights. As well, even though he can't able to go to eat him down, he can also fight as well. You see, he used an arm as his own disguise to help out his human standards, so well, no one freak out. But I wonder what is his actual form? Well, let's just say it's similar to somewhat a monster-like, and that'd be like this. Pretty much is what you think of. In this day, he can able to rival against Putatoro O's and can able to keep up with him as well, especially with the Greed one as well, the leader of the Greed army. And since we're still talking about similar to those, let's talk about Ryuko's partner at Tabashi Clothing and pervert bloodlust character, that being Life Foreman, or I just gonna call him by standards like red and black clothing, or try to say Life Vapor. You know what? Life Vapor sounds great. Anyways, Life Vapor pretty much help out Ryuko to give some advice as well, give her some transabilities, which is storing the plane, and able her to transfer in different forms, especially when it comes with strategizing a fight, including some those he or Ryuko can able to think of. Though, like Ryuko, she is pretty much hard-headed, and as for her strategy, well, let's just say he has a little thing when it comes with coming in contact with humans. It could be his biggest flaw if I were giving a biggest honest and least. Seriously, he needs the blood to energize the fuel. Other than that, those two combatants, as well as their partners, manage to hold that very well. So, and yeah, there are some flaws to each other, especially when it comes to transformations like those two. Especially partners, as well as some transformations that each other can need resort to something. But in the end, it's pretty much stronger at best. However, who actually win this fight? Who wins against between those two? Especially who had the better partner? Well, the winner is pretty much simple. This episode is surprising in some way, which that being Kamen Rider O's. Oh man, I have a lot of explaining to do, am I? Look, I know maybe he'll go put it in the comment section. Oh, you're just saying that because Kamen Riders always win this every fight you put. No. To be fair, I was trying my best to find a perfect matchup for each of the different versions of universes at best, especially my old show and daily duels. As such, I found these two pretty much similar alike if we compare their transformations, their origin, as well as their partners. But in any case, why does Kamen Rider O's win the fight? Well, let's start out with speed. Ryuko definitely gets the earned speed advantage at best, but after looking back from several things that I look at, especially with the Super Tobacco combo, it's actually close to giving Kamen Rider O's a chance, especially with future can able to keep up with ones like Super Galaxy King, which is the power of a future rider and can able to stop time, especially good time travel. But yeah, it's actually quite debatable if Kamen Rider O's can actually do that. So for the sake of analysis, it's pretty much mandatory that Ryuko get a speed advantage. However, it's pretty much cut down to the lifting and strength advantage. And Kamen Rider O's is close with striking streak, while Ryuko's gets a lifting streak. Which at best, both Ryuko and Ichi are equally matched. Ryuko gets a lifting streak as well, but in Kamen Rider O's, he managed to get a striking streak due to the Heisei Generation's final movie, especially when it comes to gets in the build world. Especially when it comes down with everything about it, if you haven't seen the movie at least. And what about the intelligent experience advantage? Don't worry, we'll get to there, but the durability is had to go to Ichi, where Ichi can survive and especially have gone towards several ton of things, especially when it comes to the Heisei Generation final, where at best it can able somewhat plannable if we give it a chance. So it is cut down to intelligence and advantages categories. It's actually quite close, but I had to give it towards Ichi for both of them. To be fair, both Ryuko and Ichi had their fair share. Sure, Ryuko had much more experience against tougher beings like her mother, Rangyo, but comparing to this as well the few appearance that current also have for several times, especially with ancient beings as well, dimension destroyers as well. In some ways, the greed that try to consume is pretty much explanatory that Ichi had much more clever ideas as well of cognitive strategy and outsmart opponents, especially in his base form. But he had much more ton of experience which comes with dangerous beings like Space Galaxy King as well as the Heisei Generations, the ultimate beings as well. So explanatory is that Kamen Rider O's, aka Ichi, have much more intelligence and experience than Ryuko. And let's be fair, Ryuko, even though she had won some fights in the past, most of them pretty much like favor at best. Especially if we're talking about her when she gets restless as well being hard-headed. And with their partners, Ichiro is pretty much a much more better partner than Ryuko's partner, Seiji, where Seiji is most likely about Ryuko, especially when it comes down to it. And I like Seiji. Richie doesn't actually need to sort his human life form. Hell, he get able to just transform to his monster, say at best. Especially help out Ichi to come with spare combos as well, give him advantages and top it all off. Even before he might disappear, he can still aid Ichi to down a fight like it's shown in the finale at best. Plus, he comes with better strategies due to the fact over the years that he has gone towards, especially when in his generation final, where at best Ichi and Amchi have a better connection to each other, especially when dead, while both Ryuko and Seiji had a similar thing, but the only major difference is that they pretty much fight over sometimes, especially when it almost comes down to the finale, where Seiji is being turned down by Ryuko before they reunite again. It is complicated here and there, who's telling who is the winner and who is the loser. It's pretty much explanatory. I could be either wrong between those two categories, but nonetheless, I still say that Kamen O's pretty much win the fight, because they to help with a better partner that being Ichi, as well gaining much more striking strength and durability, including have much more intelligence. Well, if we're saying he's clever, as well giving him some experience thanks to some movies he's been appearing, as well face up other green in the past, including in Heisei Finals, including as well in Heisei Forever. So in short, overall, Ryuko at best can able to destroy some of the combos, but there are some combo forms that she can't even stand against with, such as the Tornado and Super Tabaka. So in the end, I'll give Ryuko credit as for Seiji, even though with transformations, but that's saying much more superior and much more advanced forms than Ryuko's, and much more better strength, or striking strength best, clever intelligence, experience and durability, including Ichi coming with better strategies than Seiji, which she most likely guides Ryuko to win in the fights. I'm sorry for those who are Kill la Kill fans, because in the end, this fight was a total combo, and Ichi wins, but totally capital O lose for Ryuko. Yeah, I know I could come up with a better pun, but this is the first episode. I can improve some things. But nonetheless, the winner of this first episode is Kamen O's.
Get ready for the next battle.
Someone's always watching me. Someone's always there. When I'm sleeping, he just waits and he stares. Someone's always standing in the darkest corner of my room. He's tall and wears a suit of black, dressed like the perfect groom.